Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the brand new fifth season of the Divine Rhapsody. And this is your friend, Falguni. So, I would like to begin this brand new season with failures. I know it's a very unconventional topic to begin a brand new season with, but I want to make it very clear that this episode is not about failures. It is about redefining failures. Redefining failures leads to finding our purpose, finding our calling in life, to finding the path that we are meant to walk, to finding and getting exactly what we asked for or what we deserve. Growing up, we see our parents, they had a decent education, then they got their jobs, then they got married, had children. And that's how this world works. That is how this world is meant to function. That's what all of us are doing. But sometimes our life has other plans for us. And my life definitely had other plans for me. I've gone through a lot of failures in life. I've tried to build a lot of things with the intention to keep it, to nurture it in all parts of my life. But my failures, and only my failures, were successful in making me understand that I deserved something more or something else. When I learned how to not focus on what I had lost and focus on the silver lining, focus on what I was meant to learn from the situation. In 2022, I had a choice. I had a choice to pursue my dream job or to go for higher education. I was 28 at the time. I will be 30 this year. So I was 28 at the time. And I got this amazing job offer in a very good city in India with a handsome salary, a very good designation. And the same day I was offered my admission letter in a prestigious institution in Canada that I had been applying for almost 2 years then. And I started crying. I did not know what I was supposed to do. I so desperately wanted financial stability in life. I really wanted this opportunity because why not, With money, you can fulfill your dreams. You can buy whatever you want. You can live the lifestyle you've always wanted to. So it was a very, very tough decision. But I sat with my family and we eventually decided that I should go to Canada and give up on that job opportunity, reject that opportunity. It was a very hard step, but then I thought this is once in a lifetime opportunity and I should avail going to Canada, because how often do we go out of our country? And if we get comfortable here, why would we? Why would we go anywhere else if we are comfortable where we are? If we are getting everything that we want? But then I thought that I should go to Canada and take this leap of faith. And as they say in tarot, for the people who know about tarot, the fool's journey began with this leap of faith. And I went to Canada, and just a few months in Canada, and I realized that I had made a very big mistake. I had a very hard time. Very hard time. I was used to living away from family, because in 2012 I left home for higher education and for work and everything, but going to an altogether new country is like going very, very far away from your comfort zone, from the things that you're used to seeing around you, from the kind of people you're used to seeing around you, from the kind of food you're used to eating. Your comfort food is gone, your comfort language is gone, your culture is gone. People will not understand where you come from, people will not understand the things you do. It was very hard. It was hard to make friends. It was hard to trust people, because everyone was hustling. Everyone had something on stake. Everyone was competitive because there was so much to lose. Everyone had invested so much. People had dreams and plans. And I'm privileged enough to, to not have to contribute financially to my life, to my family, but there were students and people around me who had to do that, who had to financially support their family back in their own country. But despite of the privilege that I had, I was facing a lot of problems. And I thought it was a big mistake to come to Canada, to have rejected that job. I developed a lot of mental issues. I went through depression. I realized that I had ADHD. I developed anxiety, severe anxiety. I was on medication. I mean, all the bad things, all the bad things. And I was all alone. I was still going through life one day at a time. But the day I couldn't take it anymore, when my education ended, I came back to India. And when I came back to India, I still thought that it was a complete waste of money and 1 year. See, the good things were there. I traveled. I met amazing people. I had this amazing education. But what I went through internally was very hard. That's what made me think that going to Canada was a mistake, and I had failed myself. And I had failed my family. But when I came back to India, into my comfort zone, around my people, around the food that I ate, around the air that I was used to breathing, around the things that I was used to seeing around me, I realized how much I had changed. 1 year, and I was an completely different person. It took me a while to realize this. It took me a while to understand that how much I had polished myself, that going through that heat and those testing times had made me so much stronger. that if I had chosen this job and not gone to Canada, I would have never known what I was made of. It did take 1 year of pain and blood to understand this. But when I understood this, I realized how lucky I was to, first of all, to have chosen higher education and going to Canada over that amazing secure job. Not saying that you shouldn't choose jobs, but when I saw the silver lining in my failure that I thought was a failure, I realized that there's nothing like a failure in your life. Failures don't exist. It's just a matter of perspective. Just a matter of perspective. I know someone who got married early in her life and lost her husband. Not after a very long time of their marriage. Like within a year or two, she lost her husband. She was very young at the time. And at that time, she thought that she had failed in life. She was this very ambitious, very driven person, very smart. She always excelled in academics. She was very ambitious, and she lost her husband, and she thought her life had ended. Her family thought her life had ended. Because, living in this society as a young girl who's driven and has lost her husband, it is very hard, because there are people talking about you all the time that have absolutely no mercy. They talk shit. They have no mercy. They don't understand what that person is going through, and they talk shit, and at that time the person thinks that they failed in life and they will not be able to accomplish what they want to because they've lost so much. But lucky for her, her family was very supportive. They took a while of mourning and grief and contemplating and understanding what exactly had happened and the options they had, and they sent her to some other city in India, and she started a brand new life. She started focusing on her career. She started focusing on herself. She made friends, amazing, very good, loyal, supportive friends. And now today, when I look at her and her family, everyone is so proud of them. So proud of them. When we are living a moment, a happy or a sad moment or a painful moment, at that moment when we are living it, we don't realize that this is going to end. If it's happy, we don't sit and cherish it. We don't realize that this is also going to end. And it's the same as with sad moments as well, testing times. We think that this is how our life is going to be, and we are never going to get out of it. That's when we blind ourselves from the things that we're actually supposed to look at, the things that we're supposed to focus on. Failures are opportunities for learning and for growth. If we keep succeeding, see, now success also has different definitions for everyone. But according to your definition of success, if you keep succeeding in life, how would you know what you're capable of if you're too comfortable in your life? This is a very famous quote by an amazing author. I am not good with names, so I have forgotten her name. But she says, she actually talks about women, but I think this is the case with everyone. And she says that women are like tea bags. You'll never know how strong they are till you put them in hot water. And I think this goes for everyone. Testing times are the opportunities that teach us the most about ourselves, bring out the most amazing things out of ourselves, especially when we want to get out of that situation or make it better. Going through failure and trying to do something about it are very different things. If something has happened and I'm just mourning, just sad, living that sadness again and again, over and over, and actually not doing something constructive about it, I'm never going to learn. You're never going to learn if you do that. But if you sit, you've cried, you've taken your time, and then eventually you sit with your problem and you see, okay, this is what has happened. Have I actually failed? What really happened if I try to shift my perspective here? If I come out of this sad body and sit in front of me and see what's going on with me, if I'm the one who's supposed to console me and make me see what good can I take out of this situation, what good can I learn and understand from the situation, this way we'll actually see the silver lining. This is the only way we see the silver lining. We should not wait for evidence. We should do the searching ourselves first. So like I said, when I came back from Canada, bit by bit, day by day, I realized how much I had changed. The things that bothered me before did not bother me anymore. My own failures became my biggest guides, my biggest teachers, the lessons that built me. I know it's very hard to do this, but if you really want to change the course of your life and you constantly feel that life is pinning you down, there is something that you're not seeing, because that's how the universe works. A lesson until learned completely will come back to you. The biggest gift my failures gave me is my spiritual journey, my spiritual path, my calling. And I will never trade even a single failure in my life for anything else. I'm very happy for all the things that happened to me. The worst and the worst of things. I'm very happy they happened to me. I'm rather privileged to have seen and gone through all that. Because the knowledge that I have inside me right now, the way I see my life right now, is very fulfilling, full of happiness, and so abundant. Redefining our failures is the only way to find our path. It's very easy to live a safe life, to get a job, to get money, to build your assets and whatever, however it's supposed to happen. And maybe for a lot of us, that's our purpose in life, but not for everyone. That's not for everyone. We have to find our purpose if we want to live a fulfilled life. Otherwise, we'll never be satisfied with what we have. We'll always try to look for more and more and more and more, but always in the wrong direction. If we actually don't know, if we actually don't sit and find what truly makes us happy. And that can only happen if we redefine our failures. We understand that, okay, if we fail at something, we try to make something out of something, we try to build something here, and that did not happen. Why? If I put my everything into it, and it still did not happen, maybe there's something else for me, and I'm just not ready to look at it that way. Because I'm too fixated on a certain kind of life. At least this is how I learned. This is how I understood what my calling was. And my calling is higher. It is higher than this 3D world. I know that. Of course. It is for everyone, but I can speak for myself. And that is only a gift from my failures. My failures again and again, forced me to understand that I was looking in the wrong direction. I was looking in the direction that could never fulfill me. And stirred me, moved me, pushed me into a completely different direction. So to find your calling in life, find your purpose, true purpose, your north node, as we say in astrology, and what you're meant to do in this lifetime. You have to sit and contemplate your failures. And the moment you realize and you understand how a certain failure is actually not a failure, that's how you transform bit by bit, piece by piece. Today, I sit here with no regrets. The people I failed, the people who failed me, the things that I built that fell crashing down right in front of me, my dreams, my aspirations, my goals. I was forced to change my perspective. Because you know what? That's what I asked for. I asked for fulfillment. I asked for satisfaction and happiness. But where I was headed was not what I asked for. I just did not know it. So I took them as failures. But then again and again, these failures happened. Again and again. Life tried to teach me that, Falguni, this is not what you're asking for. You're asking for something else, but you're pushing yourself into a completely different direction. You're asking for something else and you're not letting this help you. So see if you're failing at this. See why are you failing at this. What are you not seeing here? So to all the moments that I thought that, all the things that I thought I failed at, I thank them. I thank them because they made me the person I am today. And for all my lifetimes that I'm meant to live, I will thank all my failures. My failures are actually my milestones, my trophies. Because every time I failed at something, it pulled out something new out of me. It ignited something new inside me, which could have never happened, if I lived the life that I thought I would. The best part about failures is that I completely detached myself from the idea of people pleasing. And I realized how unique we all are. And if we stop comparing ourselves to others, the beauty inside us will actually come out, and we'll be able to see ourselves for who we are, truly. If we detach ourselves from the idea of embodying somebody else's image, we'll be able to see our true potential. So that's what redefining failures does to us. But we have to be willing to do that. It takes a lot of pain, a lot of patience, a lot of time. But if we're all set to do it, that we have to, we will, and we are willing to do it for ourselves, for our higher good, I suggest you must start today. If you're not happy with the life you are living right now, sit back and look at all the moments, all the things, all the times you failed in life. Trial and error, trial and error. It's okay. It's okay. There's no rush. There are children who die, who have aspirations in life to become engineers and astronauts and architects and musicians and doctors and everything, and teachers. They die so early. The people around us that we're losing every day. So, technically there is no rush. Because there's no point of a rush. Life is so unpredictable. Anything can happen anytime. So with the life and the time that you have on this earth, do you want to compromise? Or actually use this time to find yourself and live to your fullest? With whatever time you have, do you want to live a fulfilled and happy life? Or you want to live a life like everybody else? See, living a life like everyone else is not a bad idea. But if you're not meant to do that, then it's never going to make you happy. That's what I learned. Because I was not meant to live a life like most of us do, like most of us plan. There were times I thought I had it all. But then everything came crashing down. And I had to rebuild my life, reinvent myself. But only through these failures, I reinvented myself. I never compromised. I was always willing to do better. I was always willing to look inside and see how that failure had changed me, how and what potential this failure had to teach me, what I could learn. Failures are important, but even more important than failures is to redefine them, to see the silver lining. And if bit by bit we start redefining our failures, they will not look like failures anymore. They will become our trophies. Because if you start, cracking your failures, you will understand that those were the only times when you surprised yourself the most. You did not know how strong you were until you went through that. You did not know that you could actually learn something new. If something is not working out for you and you wanted to try something new and you were so good at it, you wouldn't have known that, right? So failures help you redefine you. Failures help you self-introspect, to see your true potential, know who you truly are, and then eventually leading you to your path, the path that you're meant to walk on. And you don't always have to know what you're meant to do. Not always. But if you know that you're on the right path, you will get where you're supposed to get. Don't be so scared of failures. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone pin you down just because they have not done inner work. Just because they have taken their failure too hard. Just because they are not willing to see the silver lining in the failure. Don't let them tell you that you've lost something and that is all this failure has done to you. Sit with yourself, work on your failures, see what you've gained. Be open to this conversation with yourself. Because only failures will help you find your calling. If you're not happy in your life, look at your failures and be open to failing again and again if you want to grow. If you want, be ready to risk your stability, temporary stability, for long-term fulfillment. If you're ready to take that risk, my friend, you are here for a greater purpose. You underestimate yourself. I learned it the hard way. But I guess this journey to self-introspection and spirituality is meant to be hard, because it is not for everyone. It is supposed to be for everyone. We all are supposed to walk this path, but in the world we live today, it is not so easy. But I'm glad I went through the things I went through, because I have this inner awakening now, which I will never trade for anything else, for no amount of money, for no amount of luxury. I found my calling. It's time you find yours, you know.